Hi, folks. It's another topic which everyone faces at some point in time on their journey um, to getting into great shape, and that's when the, the the title of this one is when video is when you don't feel like it, um, when you feel resistant to doing something, and it could be. You don't want to take a shake. You don't want to go for a walk. You don't want to drink water. You don't want to plan your meals. You don't want to do whatever you do from a mindfulness point of view. Any of those things. It's anything. And the crucial thing about that is to understand that that's okay, and that's really okay. And it's important to get this point that you're not a robot. You're far from that. You're this living organism that's completely fluid and changing. So there's going to be times when you're just not meant to feel motivated. And transformation is not about forcing yourself to push through when you're in those situations. It's not about pushing through willpower in and overcoming all the emotions. And so we're going to explore it slightly differently from the LightMinds perspective. And the key thing about that is to look at curiosity rather than think about pressure, um, and understand where wisdom, willpower, those kind of things all fit in. Okay. So most people assume that an experience that change, successful change, comes about through a number of things. And we're kind of educated that this is the case. And that's discipline, high levels of motivation, willpower, consistency at all costs. And this ability to push through no matter what. That's how, that's kind of people who are put on pedestals and we're supposed to admire, they achieve success. But real transformation, and you hear me talk about this all the time, the sustainable kind of transformation um, isn't like one of those gym posters. And it's all about relationship and relationship with yourself, which in turn is built upon awareness and consciousness. So it's built through noticing things, understanding, having compassion for yourself, gaining insight, and trusting as you go through the journey. So there are days that you're going to feel really aligned, you're going to feel energized, you're going to feel ready to do things. And then there are days when you'll feel flat, you'll be more resistant, or you'll be disconnected. And it's important to recognize that both of these are part of the journey. And so the key really is to understand, what do you do on these days? So let's first of all look at resistance. When you don't feel like it, if you're like most people, you assume things like you're being lazy, you're failing, you've lost momentum, things are just going to go wrong, I'm slipping up, I'm not strong enough, I'm not good enough. But none of those things, that when you experience that resistance, and that's what it is failure. The resistance is information. It's your inner system telling you something. And that's important, because this is all about improving your understanding of what's going on for yourself. So it might be information about, you're tired, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're emotionally overloaded, you're mentally stretched, you haven't slept enough, you're overdoing things, you need nourishment. Um, it could even be you need some kindness, you need some personal TLC. So human beings, our nervous system is not designed to run at 100% every day. It's about ebbing and flowing. And when you get resistance, they're signals for you. They're not sabotage. And so again, for those of you that are in the program, you'll hear me talk about feelings, and the feelings are like signals trying to get your attention. And this is where understanding the resistance about being curious rather than critical. And, you know, I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but yeah, I'd say it's a mistake. It's a mistake to think that all the time you've got to power through. And what I would prefer is if somebody becomes curious. So instead of when you notice resistance, instead of just going, seeing it as pressure, asking yourself, what's going on here? What do I really need right now? And you can have a shift in that moment, and it could be amazing. In that shift, you might recognize something that's the real need for you then, which could be rest, it could be taking a break, it could be, a bit, dare I say it, a bit of silence, noise, quietening down, a bit of comfort, as I said before, nourishment. Regulate things. And that's all about wisdom. It's not, sometimes we see it as a weakness, but sometimes the real need is movement, it's hydration, it's nutrition, it's take a walk, have your shake, reset. Um, but all of this will come to you once you make that pause and you ask yourself, okay, what's this about? And you listen, and the answers will become clear. But when you put pressure on yourself, those answers get drowned out. That's where the contaminated thinking overwhelms the system. And this is particularly where the inside out understanding becomes really powerful. Your resistance isn't coming from the task that you're avoiding. It's coming from your state of mind, the state of mind you're in when the task appears. So sometimes, a 10-minute walk will feel really easy. Whereas on other days where you're stressed, or you're depleted, even filling up a water bottle is a burden to you. The tasks haven't changed, your state has changed. It's always about your state. So when you see clearly, what you do is you stop blaming yourself. You stop assuming it's a weakness in you, it's a lack of discipline. You stop seeing it as failure. And what you do is you start navigating your state more from a place of wisdom. Always remember your feelings are temporary, but your wisdom is constant. It's always there. And I use the analogy in the course where I talk about the ice above the river, but underneath the river's always flowing. Your wisdom is always there. The feelings will pass. So you can always act from wisdom. So think about it like this. Actually, in the email, I mentioned an exercise. So when you notice the resistance come up through feelings, pause and ask yourself, what's going on here and what do I really need? Now that's the pause in the moment. That's the pause. And you look at that pause and it gives you the opportunity to reset. Um, you don't feel like making a shake, so you pause. You notice you're tired and overstimulated. And you realize then the shake is exactly what your body needs. It's simple, it's nourishing, doesn't take any effort, so you make it. Um, Another one, you don't feel like going out for a walk, and you pause and you notice you slept badly and you feel emotionally flat, and your body's saying rest today. And so honor that. Um, Another example, you don't feel like prepping your food, so you pause. You realize that you've had a really stressful day at work and you're just not motivated enough. So do something smaller. Prep one meal, not three. And doing it this way, this is it enables change to become sustainable. Small, wise choices made from awareness, not pressure, make all the difference. So I suppose that the core message of this video is that not feeling like it, like doing things, is normal. It's not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're listening because you've become aware of it. Most people are going around in a robotic state. They're an autopilot. When you notice the resistance and you pause, that's growth in itself. And your mind and body will speak through the resistance. So when you get curious instead of critical, you open up the opportunity to hear your own wisdom. And then when you act from that wisdom, you're going to make choices that will support long-term transformation. And that's what we're about. Long-term sustainable transformation. So the goal isn't to push yourself every day. The goal is to understand yourself every day. Because transformation isn't built on willpower. We have limited amounts of that. It's built on relationship to yourself. So when the resistance shows up, don't push past it. Don't surrender into resistance. Take the pause, ask the two questions, and then whatever comes up for you, use that as a guide. There's deep, deep wisdom in your system, in every one of us. And the more you learn to trust it, the easier the journey becomes and the longer lasting the results. Thanks very much.